Hello and welcome. I'm your host Ruby Gill and I feel honored to welcome you all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So attendees, what do you think the essence of today's webinar? Well, I'm glad to share with much excitement that today our expert will deliver his expertise and tell us about academic packaging for higher packages. So I'm sure you are as excited as I am for today's webinar. So kindly allow me to introduce our expert. It's my privilege to welcome the man of distinct vision and fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge and experience, and inspiration to all of us. Dr. Laviraj Gupta, Pro Vice Chancellor, Lovely Professional University. He is leading light in the field of technical and higher education in the country. His research-focused approach and an insightful, innovative intervention of technology in education has won him much accolades and laurels. He is doctorate in bioinformatics and having flair for endless learning, he has done more than 50 plus certifications and specializations from University of California at Irvine, Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, Deep Learning AI and Google Machine Learning Group. His research interests are in the areas of robotics, mechatronics, bioinformatics, Internet of Things, AI, and ML using TensorFlow and gamification. Talking about accolades and laurels, in 2001, he was appointed as Assistant Controller Technology Ministry of IT Government of India by the Honorable President of India in the Office of Controller of Certifying Authorities. In 2013, he was accorded the role in the National Advisory Board for What Can I Give? Mission Kalam Foundation of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In 2011, he received the MIT Technology Review Grand Challenge Award, followed by the coveted Infosys Infi Makers Award in the year 2016. And recently, he has collaborated with Stanford University for a research project as well. He has also been nominated as the chairman to SOCAM North Region Council for Innovation, and he has authored 7 books on IoT, mobile robotic platforms, biomedical sensors, and machine learning and data analytics. He has, to his credit, 150 plus patents. So, sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ruby. Thank you so much for the kind words. Good afternoon, attendees. Today, as the theme of my dialogue with you or our interaction with each other is clearly on academic packaging for higher packages. Let me build the foundation of our interaction, of the dialogue. Let's see, it is always very clear in the minds of people, in the minds of students and the parents and the near and dear ones. And all of them, almost all of them, are concerned about what kind of packages would I get after doing a program which I am aspiring to do. Now there are two aspects. When you talk about packages, there are two aspects of packages which any employer would give to you. The very first aspect is that the package will always be defined by the skill set, by the readiness, and by the way you are prepared during the tenure of the program. If you're joining a particular BTech program, maybe BTech mechanical engineering or civil engineering, or maybe electronics engineering, or maybe computer science engineering, the very first and the foremost step for you to reach out to a profile and a package would begin from day one, because you have selected a particular discipline as your career in times to come. The second most important thing for the package is that how do you consider that which package is good, or beyond what packages you will consider that you are on the higher package side of it. I always talk to my students and tell them that break away or do away with the law of averages. If you look to average package in this country for an engineering graduate, it would be somewhere around 4 lakhs or 4.25 lakhs by and large. But if you aspire for that law of averages, and if you look to average package only, then you're not doing justice to your own aspirations. You're not doing justice to the expectations from the parents, from the family members, and from the society by and large. Now, what to do with this? How to tackle this law of averages is to join an organization, to join an institute which has already done a lot of homework for you, so that you can break this barrier of law of averages which is prevailing in the country. We have broken all the records of packages. You call them packages, we call them success stories. We have curated success stories out of children who have joined the programs at LPU. And how do we do so? I'll give you a picture of what we have done as an academic packaging, as an academic readiness, what kind of innovations, what kind of newness, and what kind of stone breaking exercises we have done in your academic framework, so that you rise higher, and create success stories for us, for yourself, for your family, and for the society by and large. Let me begin. All of you sitting along with me, there are hundreds of people sitting along with me. All of you are here with a different consciousness. You all have your own sentience. You all have your own thought process. You all belong to a cluster of thinking. You have your own dogmas of think societies. Meaning thereby that if I say each and every individual has got a specific thought, I'll begin with just plain and simple thinking, that what you are thinking for your your goals in times to come. Somebody of you might be having goal X, somebody might be having goal Y, somebody might be having goal Z. Let us talk a little more about it, that why we are here, you and us, why we are having this dialogue. So some of you want to take up a particular discipline, a particular program, be it BTech or any other program, for fun and enjoyment. Yeah, very well. You can go ahead. If you can enjoy the learnings of that particular program, if you can create fun out of all what you do during that program, you belong to a specific cluster. That yes, I'm doing this program for fun and enjoying my life. There are many of you who will be joining a program for education, for studying, and for learning. We are very sure that many of you would aspire to join a particular program to gain education by studying and learning in that program. But most of you, I'll say most of you, are not sure yet which program to join, where to join this particular program, and why to join this particular program in this particular organization. It is all you have to do is because you are aspiring for not just simply the law of averages or packages which are belonging to the average kind of a band. You have to aspire to something, not something, more than average, and you need to rise up the ladder like anything. Some of you are here or going to join a particular program for jobs, for packages, and you're going to talk about what package would I get. in which companies would I get these kind of packages. You have got some dream companies in your mind. People talk about FANGs. You've got Fortune 500 companies. People talk about FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, kind of a group which you're aspiring to. But almost all of you are going to build your futures. Very importantly, if you look to each and every word which is placed there on a word cloud here: fun, enjoy life, education, study, learn, package, job, not sure even, future, they all sum up to one simple word, and that word is nothing but career. We at LPU have thought deep, have thought very, very seriously about this word called career, because we are very particular that job and career are two different aspects. Job is a place where you work to get your bread and butter, but career is something which you earn, which you win out of a bigger lot, and you shine like a star. We are very, very particular, and we are very clear that how do we build careers of people doing programs with us. Abraham Lincoln very rightly said that career and future, they go together. Your future is your career, and your career would build your future. And Abraham Lincoln very rightly pointed out the best way to predict the future is to create it. And we at LPU will work with you together, doing a lot of innovations, doing a lot of homework, doing a lot of midnight oil burning. We have already done lot of brainstorming and strived very hard to bring a very new form of academic packaging in front of you. Let me talk about what kind of academic packaging we have brought in, because we understand that you are aspiring to join LPU in a specific program with a jetpack. Now, this jetpack would have your efforts, this jetpack would have our efforts. Your efforts would be just plain 4 P's: perceive, prepare, participate, and perform. You'll have to perceive that what you intend to become. We'll suggest a lot of suggestions during your first year, second year, that you can be a good entrepreneur, you can be good for higher studies, study abroad, you can be good for corporate jobs. In corporate jobs, you can be very good in a products sector or in a service sector, be it automobile, be it aerospace, be it structures, civil engineering structures, be it electronics. What we have done is we have created some jetpacks, and we call them as jetpacks because these are the true thrusters for you to take higher and above what packages you are even think of. You can even think, you can go beyond top what people are getting in this country. You can go even beyond that by this kind of packaging which we have done. Let us see what kind of academic packaging we have done. When I say academic packaging, what we have done is we have thought that, okay, a student is aspiring for a goal. Now, what kind of goal? The very first question we ask ourselves, that what kind of goals an individual doing a particular program, be taking computer science or mechanical or electronics or civil, what kind of aspirations a child can come to us. Because until and unless we do research on that what can be the superset of the expectations, of the aspirations of students who are joining a particular program. So what we did, we created an academic packaging, and we very neatly defined 6 pathways for you, that you can either go onto this pathway, or you can take up this particular path, or you can take up this particular path for the word career, which I talked about. After crafting these pathways, we did loads and loads of research. And we went to what kind of profiles companies, the best of the companies in the world, not in India just, best of the companies in the world are offering to freshers, and what kind of packages they are giving actually. And it was amazing to see that most of the companies are offering packages beyond 40 lakhs to the freshers. So we went and created some career profiles out of the pathways. I'll explain this to you in absolute details. That the pathways, there is a very bigger and the superset of everything, because you have your own goals, and that goal is matched up to a domain of your aspiration. And in that domain, what kind of profiles, what kind of careers generally people are offering to that particular program students worldwide, and what kind of packages they offer. After pathways, we define the profiles. We research for the profiles, going deep into each and every Fortune 500, into each and every, best of the fangs in each and every aerospace company, automobile company of the world, in all the building information modeling companies, in civil engineering, all the structural companies, and not just simply companies, but PSUs also, public sector undertakings also, ONGC, like ISRO, like all these government things also. They're giving wonderful packages to the freshers. We also went to even consulting companies. A mechanical engineering student is joining a consulting company like JP Morgan on a very high package, packages ranging beyond 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs. So we collated, we aggregated all the profiles put together for a given program, for a given pathway. And then for the given profiles, we then went into the micro detailing and identified what skill sets are needed for a given profile. Say, for example, an electronics engineer for a product-oriented company like Intel or Texas Instruments, they are wanting the design engineers. We went deep into it, that what skill sets, maybe SX or VLSI design, or maybe they are wanting C programming or IT enablement or simulation and modeling kind of skill sets. So from pathways to profiles, and then to micro level of what skill sets are needed for a given profile under a given pathway. Now, this is what I call as academic packaging. Once we have identified skill sets, then we designed certain credited inputs. When I say credited inputs, these are courses, maybe in terms of star courses. These star courses would have a different kind of a pedagogy, completely out of the box kind of assessment mechanisms. I'll talk about them. The projects, we'll get the projects from the industry. We have industry inclusivity. Your courses would be co-delivered by industry. Industry certifications, we lay quite a lot of emphasis on students doing industry certification, and we even waive off a course for a given industry certification. If you have done EMC Square or Cisco or maybe Google or any kind of building information modeling or any kind of automotive certification, courses can be waived. The continuous assessments or assignments can be waived off. In lieu thereof, the MOOCs or the industry certification which you do. Because we understand that the skill which is enabled by these kind of certifications would surely map up to that particular cohort, would surely let you rise high up and above in that particular pathway. We have designed a lot of wonderful minors, electives, the pathway electives, the minors, so that you can rise up, so that you can prepare yourself for packages beyond averages. We'll also give you a lot of non-credited inputs in terms of, you'll have a roadmap, you'll create your own dream CVs, You'll work on your Gantt chart already prepared in the very first term, first year. You'll prepare your own Gantt chart that, okay, this is my present CV and this is my dream CV. Now, in that dream CV, you'll identify, we together will identify your skill sets and put in there that this skill set I'll attain by doing this kind of certification or this kind of MOOC, and I'll start this here and end this here. We together will follow your Gantt chart and monitor it regularly. Every Saturday would be a wow day for you. Now, this is the entire academic packaging. I'll go deep into each and everything after this. It all starts from the pathway, the superset, that where you intend to go. You want to go in for research, you want to go become an entrepreneur, or you want to go in for career jobs as a career, in corporate jobs or PSUs or NGOs or consulting. What kind of jobs you go. We extract these profiles out of it, and from profiles we extract skills, and based on the skill sets for you, we created credited and non-credited inputs and packaged it in such a way that you rise up above and high. So the very first thing, what I talked about was, we have created clear pathways, and we have actually divided them into 6 major categories. Jobs, what kind of jobs? Government jobs or corporate jobs. In corporate jobs, whether it is a service oriented company or a product oriented company. I'll give you an example. A product oriented company would be Tesla, or a service oriented company would be maybe motor queues kind of thing, wherein they provide services to automotive companies. An example would be very plain and simple. Google would be a product oriented company, whereas TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, they'll be the service oriented companies. You want to go in for higher studies, we'll define that. We'll give you certain pathway electives so that you qualify GATE or GRE. In higher studies, you can do the higher studies here in India, or you can study abroad. We'll give you a pathway wherein we'll handhold all the entrepreneurs from the very beginning, so that we give you the various stages, steps to become an entrepreneur. We'll let you participate in a lot of internal shark tanks, so that you pitch in your idea and get seed money and funding for that particular idea. We've got a lot of success stories there as well. If you want to go in for research, we have already crafted the research methodology and the further subdivisions in your terms of pathway electives, so that you become a wonderful researcher. You'll learn how to write a research article, how to publish a research article, and how to actually rise up into the impact factor or your H index kind of ranking. The pathway electives would take you there, and that comes in with the packaging of the broader perspective. If you remember the diagram, the biggest perspective was career pathways. The second and the most important thing is cohorts. We call it as cohorts, but these are primarily the profiles which companies they do offer worldwide. I'll again repeat that, worldwide. It's not just simply in India. The companies, the profiles available for Indian companies to be offering worldwide for a BTech mechanical engineering student, or a student who has just completed mechanical engineering. What would be the skills or profiles that will be available? So we've done a lot of research, and then we worked on the package segmentations, that which companies offer which kind of profile, what kind of packages. We have worked beyond averages, we have worked beyond the countrywide average, and created or identified these skills for that. These skills will be imbibed along with the regular courses also, because all the regular courses will have a very unique kind of pedagogy, or LPU driven pedagogy, and the assessment model would be something which completely maps up to that particular skill which the cohort is expecting for. We'll give you a lot of departmental electives. We'll give you a lot of electives because we have done the overhauling of the courses. And then we have got certain star courses. Now, these star courses will have a very unique kind of a pedagogy. I'll give you an example that this unique pedagogy would have video watch homeworks. If I am taking a star course, I'll give you a video watch homework so that you go and watch that particular video. And once you are back into my class next week, we'll discuss about what best kind of learnings you have from that video, because I'm going to give you the video watch homework on the best of the faculty in the world. And then we'll deliberate upon, yes, these are the kind of things, you know, which will supplement your learning for that particular course. We'll work on a lot of flipped approach. There are certain sandboxes which you're going to do. Each week you'll find courses with sandboxes. Now these sandboxes would be in coding, it is code along. You'll have in the very first semester, you'll have a tinkering lab or an experiential learning course wherein you're not designing a line following robot in electronics, you're assembling a line following robot, and your assessment in the end would be done how well that robot performs on a given maze. That kind of unique pedagogy we follow. The innovative, you know, assessments, take home exercises, open book, open notes tests, activity based assignments which are not essay writing, which are not storytelling, assignments which are activity based. A mechanical student can get an activity of understanding where all the nuts and bolts are used around him, and if he can extract the best out of the thing and which kind of nuts and bolts, his assessment would be done on that. That really prepares you and breaks the law of averages of packages in your mind. We completely focus on project-based learning. Your most of the courses would have projects to be completed. As I said earlier, we focus quite a lot on MOOCs. MOOCs are massive open online courses. These are courses that are offered by national and international bodies like NPTEL or SWAYAM or e-resources of UGC, which has recently been launched. You'll have to go and participate in these MOOCs. Once you get the certificate, we'll actually do the mapping that for this particular course, your CA, one of the assignment is mapped up with that particular, so you do not have to give that assignment. It can go to the level of even interim examination or even a complete course if that certification is of that kind. We have already done that equivalence mapping for you. Now, one very important thing which we do is we go beyond the credited inputs and we focus on non-credited inputs also. We have some credited inputs. You'll find a lot of courses on professional enhancement. It can be a course on verbal ability, analytical ability, or soft skills. Now, these are specifically designed to credited mode input on soft skills. How do you respond to a question? How do you participate in a group discussion? Analytically, how do you solve problems on pipes and cisterns, time and distance? The verbal ability, how you can solve problems in English structures and all. Other than this, you'll have actually summer and winter professional enhancement, non-credited inputs. Summers you'll be called. A lot of industry people would come and industry-oriented delivery would happen for the skill development of an individual. And you know what we have taken as a stride now, what we have taken as a pledge, that each Saturday would be a wow day for you. Now every Saturday there'll be practice tests, third-party practice tests, which actually the best of the industries focus on. Look to your profile that okay, in AMCAT, what kind of performance you have. In CoCubes, what kind of performance you have. In maybe mechanical, there are certain standardized tests. On Saturdays you'll give these practice tests. We'll let you participate in a lot of mock drives from the very first semester. Once you are sitting across a panel and giving interviews almost twice or thrice in a term, you'll actually gain your attitude, you'll gain the confidence for breaking that barrier of breaking the law of averages for package. Workshops, a lot of workshops and orientations would happen. We also have orientation courses. These orientation courses, they actually talk about, these are accredited courses. They'll be there in your first term and second term. These are the courses which will actually make you aware about that what kind of technology in your discipline is happening, what kind of futuristic advancements would happen, what kind of expectations presently the industries have, because we have understood it from when we were designing the pathway, extracting the cohorts out of it and dissecting the cohorts to find the skill set. We have already done that. We let you build your dream CV, would let you perceive and persuade the dream CV which you have built. We'll have a lot of industry participations, both in terms of curricula designing, in terms of participative delivery. You'll have courses which will be delivered or co-delivered by industry people. A lot of guest lectures would happen. Lot of guest lectures would happen during your sojourn, and you'll be given a lot of opportunities to participate in competitions, in events, so that your resume become rich in terms of projects you have done, in terms of participations, in terms of co-curricular and extracurricular activities, and in competitions you have participated and won. So here, the basic signature statement is think big. And this think big is not just thinking big, because we have understood that until and unless you think big, you'll not be able to dream big. And until and unless you dream big, you'll not be able to dare big. And once you will not be able to dare big, you'll not be able to do big. So once you think big, you dream big. And once you dream big, you dare big. And once you dare big, you do big. Because the ultimate goal is breaking the law of averages and rising to create these success stories for this country. You will have to achieve big. So think big, dream big, dare big, do big, and achieve big. The bottom line of all this dialogue is very clear. Sheryl Sandberg very rightly said that if you are offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat. Just get on and rest all belief and faith on the packaging which we have done, which you will find possibly nowhere in this country, which will take you to the highest level in your careers. I wish you all the very best. So let us all think big. I wish you all the very best. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This was impactful presentation and you have bounded us with your visionary thoughts. And audience, thank you for your patience and participation. I'm sure you must have upgraded your skills by the inputs and learning shared by our expert of the day. So thank you so much, sir. And so now we have few queries from the attendees. So with your permission, we'll take up those queries, sir.
Yeah, please.
Right, sir. So, so there is a query from Aryan Pranay. He wants to know that he's gonna join this university as a fresher. What necessary step should I take to receive a good package in BTech CSC?
See, once you're joining LPU, 4 things from your side. I've talked about our side of academic packaging. First thing is build your attitude. So it is very rightly said that attitude only defines your altitude. When I talk about altitude, think of you being very disciplined, punctual, participative, and responsive. The second thing is prepare yourself. Whatsoever has been planned, if you are not going to participate and prepare accordingly, say for example a video watch homework is given to you, and if you're not doing it, then we both are not participating together. We need both sides participation. You need to have that attitude. prepare yourself. And one very important thing for you is to persuade, perform, and give 100% of yourself in whatsoever has been asked you to do. Even if you are asked to attend an industry expert lecture, it has been very meticulously designed and planned for you. If you are going to do that, just participation, attitude, discipline, and responsiveness. Rest all, leave it to us. We all have prepared a good packaging for you.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much. And attendees, you can raise your hands in the chat box and you can directly put up your query in front of our expert, Dr. Laviraj Gupta, sir. So raise your hands, and I just see Naveen Singh have raised up his hand. So Naveen, I'm unmuting yourself. You can directly talk to Laviraj, sir. So I'm unmuting you. You can put up your question. Naveen, you can unmute yourself now.
Hello.
Yes, Naveen.
A very good afternoon to you, sir, and all of you. Sir, my query is, sir, I am fresher and I'm ready to join LPU in 2022 in MBA program. Sir, but my query is, why MBA don't have highest packages in LPU in terms of placement of BTech CSC? Why MBA only have a placement of 18 lakh per annum highest, but in BTech CSC the highest package is 64 lakh per annum.
See, with this wonderful packaging which we have done, this I'm talking about, the entire university is now following this packaging. We surely are going to actually rise high like anything. So you cannot, don't talk about past, talk about the present, and talk about what kind of future readiness we have planned and we have designed for you. I'm pretty sure that you're going to come to my room and say, yes, sir, you were right that day.
Sir, but average package of MBA is also 6 lakh per annum.
See, it has to have its own exponential growth. Overnight things would not happen. You'll have to come here, you'll have to be here, you'll have to enjoy and cherish the design of the system and be participative. Who knows that you break all those barriers. That's what I talked about now, that you are the ones who are going to break the law of averages.
Thank you so much, sir. Absolutely, you are right, sir, on this. Now, attendees, you have to come here, you have to experience, and then when you will gain that expertise from our world-renowned mentorship we have over our university, when you gain that expertise, then you will make a difference over here, and then you feel the difference over here. So you have to come over here and gain that expertise, and then you'll get a good placement. So, so we'll take up another question from Manideep. The query is that he is going to join CSC 2+2 course in this month as a fresher, and what is the average package he can get when he go abroad with this 2+2 credit transfer program?
I've already talked about that we are breaking this silo, this stumbling block in your mind, average. There's nothing called as average package. Whatsoever you call, if you think that if going abroad would put you on the higher side of the package, we have already done that research in terms of cohorts and profiles, that whosoever studies at LPU would rise up to break the law of averages. So do not bother about what kind of average package you have.
So, sir, we have queries from our attendees. They have raised their hand. So, with your permission, can we call any attendee?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, Anchal, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the query from our expert yourself. Can you unmute yourself, Anchal Pawa? Anchal Pawa. Okay. We'll give Jamal Dugu Shaikh Nafiz. So can you unmute yourself and put up your query? Kunal Singh. Next, we can see the raise your hand option is clicked by so many attendees. So you will need to unmute yourself. Then only you can put up the query in front of our expert. So kindly unmute yourself. So now I am giving the rights to Kunal Singh. Kunal Singh, you can unmute yourself and ask the
Yeah,
question. Yes.
hello sir, hello ma'am. Sir, actually, my question is, I don't want to know what is the average package or what is anything else. I just want to know what is the coding culture of LPU since, I just want excellence in my subject. I am joining LPU in next month as a CSE fresher. So how would you suggest me how can I improve myself, you know?
See, about coding, we are very passionate about coding, and it is not just simply CSE student. We are mechanical and civil engineering students and electronics students. They are also very good at coding because
Yes, sir.
the kind of courses which we have designed, uh, they run on BYOD, bring your own device kind of a mode, because we have understood that logic does not have a life. Logic can be, can impeach upon, can spark upon at any given point of time. So your device becomes your own logic scripter. Second thing, we work on a philosophy that we want to make individuals logic smart, not syntax smart, because languages will come, languages will go. So whatsoever the language may be, if you're smart at building logics, if your code smells a less, then you are a better coder. On the since from the very first day, we will let you create your own GitHub profile, Bitbucket profile, and Kaggle profile, because in times to come, your digital presence on GitHub would prove that how wonderful coder you are. So that kind of things, and coding is in the DNA of LP.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And sir, there is another query from Preetham Reddy. He wants to know that in engineering, working hard is the goal, or working smarter is the goal. So what's your take
Smarter,
on this, sir?
smarter, and smartness. See, working hard may lead you from point A to point B in a straight line, but working smart would take you distances in between point A and point B and would make you explorative. And companies or anybody else do not want professionals with tight jackets in today's world. They need professionals who are actually smart, who have the capability of unlearn and relearn, who have the capacity of reinventing themselves. Today, if you're working in this domain, maybe in automotive technology, if you're working in basically powertrain, the next day you can work on engine. The next day you can work on exhaust gases. The next day you can work on hybrid vehicle. If you're smarter enough, you'll be better taken into account for.
Thank you so much, sir. So there is another question from Bardaval Govind. He wants to know that do internship mainly decide highest packages?
Internship is the gateway. It is the first step or the first stage of you to encounter the real-time experience with the industry. It might, it may not define the kind of package you are going to get, because you might be an intern in company X, but then looking to your work and looking to your profile, looking to your your projects, company Y offers you far better and beyond. This has happened with the students. But once you are on an internship, you have already gone through the process of getting selected in a company. So you are far better than off with the people who does not have internship.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, there is another question from Rajneesh Kumar. He wants to know that he's joining MCA course this year and how he can stand different from BTech CSC.
Coding is one thing. Second, logic. Third most important thing, do not just be an average kind of a coder. Just do not be an average kind of a coder. You need to code beyond what you have been taught beyond, or look beyond. Like, if you're good at metaverse coding, you'll always be better than anybody else in this world. If you know big data analytics, if you know maybe cybersecurity more than anybody, you are better off. Program is just a way to channelize your path.
Thank you so much. Sir, there is another question from P. Dinesh Kumar. He wants to know that what is the use of the tie-ups with the companies? What is the value of this? He's going to join BTech CSC with AI.
See, tie-ups has got a fourfold benefits. Number one, that the curriculum is completely aligned with the expectation of the company. Number two, in that particular tie-up, there'll be co-delivery, or the courses would be delivered by the industry experts. The number three is your assessment would be done by an industry expert, so that the expectation which they have, they match up for your credits. And fourth most important thing is, this tie-up keeps you abreast. Say, for example, you are doing a course and tie-up with company X. You know what company X is thinking about tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 5 years down the line, or 10 years down the line. If you know about that, you can prepare yourself for 10 years down the line.
Thank you so much, sir. So, there is an attendee, Krishna Kumar, who wants to talk to you, sir. So, Krishna, I'm unmuting you. You can put up your query. Krishna, you can unmute yourself now.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how will the BBA program be and what is package?
Sorry?
How will the BBA program and what is package?
Package? Package
Yes.
depends on you, your preparation, your participation. There's no thin line, or there's no boundary line to a package. All right. And
Yes.
BBA program is again having all these kind of newness which we have packaged upon. So you'll come to know that what kind of profile you are going to go ahead with, if for that particular profile what skill sets are needed, and which courses are actually imparting those skill sets, what kind of certifications you need to do, what kind of MOOCs you need to complete. That will define your package.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. There's no threshold of a package.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, there is another question from Archit Singh. He wants to know that what mistakes led to a student for not getting good packages.
Attitudinal mistake is the biggest thing. Only attitudinal mistake, that you become a little casual, that okay, this company is not meant for me. Attitudinal challenges, that even though you know a particular thing, but you are unable to express when it is desired. Even if you know the coding through all these packaging which we do, and at the time of real test, you fumble and you tend to miss on the bandwagon. That's the only challenge, nothing else.
Absolutely, sir. So, sir, we'll unmute another attendee, Ayush. Okay, Trisha Das. Trisha Das, I'm unmuting you. You can unmute yourself now, Trisha, and you can raise your query. Trisha, can you unmute yourself?
Um, Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. So next year I'm planning to join for BTech CSE. What are the things that I should learn before joining, like to stand out? Is there anything that I
See,
should learn before joining?
you should learn to be truthful first. When I say truthful, that if you haven't understood anything, you should be very truthful to yourself that yes, I haven't understood, and until unless I haven't understood that, I will not say that I know this. The second very important thing which you need to learn is expression skills, communication skills, and reading skills. Start reading. If you intend to join computer science, start reading latest articles. Start reading how Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is changing. So that gives you an aura, that gives you a halo around your head. You're not studying it as a theory. Go for a leisure time reading. Read about how computers have evolved from those mainframes to to the present state of the art of quantum computing. So go by the flow, and bit of programming would always help you, maybe in C, C++, or Python.
Okay, sir. And sir, I would want to know, can students from other branch join coding and get placements in IT sector or like in
Oh,
other sectors like?
oh, oh yes, why not? Even if you join mechanical or electronics or civil engineering, students are doing wonders actually, because they were exceptionally well in coding and they were a wonderful mechanical engineer. So people pick them up like anything, because all these companies, they are looking for a amalgamated hybrid individual who's good at the discipline and is a wonderful IT professional as well. Wonderfully done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're done.
Uh, all right, sir. Because of the dearth of the time, we'll not take other queries, and all the other queries will
You can
be
take
resolved.
one or two important queries. You can take.
All right, sir. Okay, so sir, we'll take one query from Aryan Pranay. He wants to know that should he prefer internship in second year, or should prepare for open source program and then grab internship in third year in BTech CSE? So, sir, can you please guide the student?
I'll go by the second preference, that do an open source program, because open source program will give you the confidence, will give you the spread, because spread is also needed along with the depth, and then move ahead with the internship. Then you'll be matured, you'll be more prepared, uh, you'll be sentient by that time, and you'll be more conscious and you have better cognizance of things at that point of time.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So we'll take last but not the least query from Gargi. From Gargi Kapoor. He is joining MBA Business Analytics program, and she wanted to know about the skill sets needed to survive the competition, and she wants how she can face the opportunities and the problems getting along in her way during the course duration.
Okay, the skill set would demand clarity in basic mathematics, basic statistics. Go and revise them. It will also demand core coding skills in various languages and packages, open source packages and all. It will also demand visualization. That how do you represent your data? Because it is all about business analytics. If you have if you have if you have captured a data, how do you create the meaning out of that data? And once you have extracted the meaning out of that data, how do you represent that meaning more meaningfully to the general audience? So that's the key skill which you'll be needing.
Thank you so much, sir, for resolving all the queries of our attendees. And with this, we'll conclude today's webinar. That's all for today. Thank you, attendees, for participating in today's webinar. We appreciate you all for being here, and I believe your knowledge has been enriched by this webinar. And I would like to express my appreciation to the experts for the valuable contribution on today's webinar on academic packaging for higher packages. So, sir, thank you so much. Your years of research, your years of experience will definitely help the audience to choose the right path. So, until next time, I, Ruby Gill, finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. God bless you all. Thank you.